Which cartoon characters do you find scary and why? Basically every antagonist in Pinocchio, including Stromboli, Monstro and especially the coachman. The coachman's devil face gave me nightmares, and his whole scheme of kidnapping boys and having them turned into donkeys is scary. There is nothing more horrifying in all of animated history than Lampwick's transformation into a donkey while he screams for his mother. Exactly, I tried watching the movie cause I hadn't in so long. It was so unpleasant and that scene was terrifying yet sad. What I learned from Pinocchio. Don't be an ass or you will turn into a donkey. Don't go with creepy old men or they will make you preform in Vegas. Don't run away from your dad or he will be swallowed by an evil whale. You can die as a wooden puppet who can't breathe by drowning. I remember heffalumps from Winnie the Pooh used to scare the it out of me as a kid. Used to have nightmares of them all the time. The pink elephants from Dumbo are a little worse in my opinion. I second that. That scene is just unsettling and creepy to me. I can probably watch it now, but I really don't have any desire to do so. Then they made them not scary with the Heifer Pump movie, but I guess wolves are always a rational fear still. Hexxus from Fern Gully scared me when I was a kid, but damn I love that movie. Also wanted to add the owl from The Secret of NIMH. Tim Curry was awesome as Hexxus. Great villain song. Almost every character in The Secret of NIMH freaks me out. The rats, the owl, dragon, all of them. Same with Hexxus. Tim Curry's voice was excellent though. Maybe not scary anymore, but I remember Frollo from The Hunchback of Notre Dame being really dark for a Disney villain. Bruh Hellfire, such a badass song. Frollo is for sure the most evil Disney villain for sure. Genocidal, misanthropic, psychotic, has a dark evil voice, and has indeed demonstrated all the 7 deadly sins throughout the movie. What more could you ask for a villain this evil? The worst kind of evil, evil that's fooled itself into thinking it's good. Judge Claude Frollo longed to purge the world of vice and sin, and he saw corruption everywhere, except within, and hell-bent on rape. Frollo is a piece of it. There's an 80s movie titled The Last Unicorn. There's a traveling old witch that embraces and gets creepingly overjoyed by her uncombing death at some point, being killed and eaten by a giant, scary, 3-breasted bird. My parents rented me this movie when I was like 6. For some reason the only thing I can clearly remember from this movie is the lady tree with massive boobs. Oh god. I'm engaged to a Douglas fir. Help. The only thing I remember is the unicorn going to a zoo or carnival with other horses who have horns stuck to their heads to make them look like unicorns or something. And she has a fake horn stuck to her, because humans can't see real horns. I used to love the movie when I was 5, but can't remember a damn thing about it now other than this. The unicorn is the last of its kind and ventures off to look for the rest that got abducted by a Red Bull. While she's asleep she gets captured by a witch who imprisons her. The witch uses illusions to turn normal animals into fantastic beasts. An old toothless lion into a manticore, a small snake into a giant lizard, a monkey into an apple monster. And she gives the unicorn a fake horn, because humans have become too far removed from the fantastic to see a unicorn as such when it's right in front of them. The only other real mystical being is a harpy she captured. And the witch knows the harpy will kill her one day. Which happens a bit later in the movie and is a scene that haunted me for years. Fun fact. Later the actual villain King Haggard shows up, being voiced by Sir Christopher Lee. I came to this thread specifically thinking I would scroll until I found The Last Unicorn and upvote it. So glad it was already at the top. But the Red Bull is scarier than the harpy and Mommy Fortuna. Colt the Face Stealer. I would not want to meet him in my lifetime. I don't think I can not make facial expressions at him. Hama was a terrifying character too. Hama was scarier in my opinion. Colt was eerie, creepy, but Hama was straight up terrifying. She made you lose control of your body and you didn't even know it. She could forcefully give one an erection too. Dude, I was scared watching that scene as an adult. One of the best shows ever though. Colt the Face Stealer is one of the most ancient and knowledgeable spirits in all of the spirit world. He is a malevolent entity with the body of an enormous centipede-like creature and resides under an ancient tree in the spirit world. His self-chosen name reflects his ability to literally steal the faces of other beings who express emotion and use them by blinking. He is terrifying. Him from Powerpuff Girls. The scariest part for me was that he was voiced by the same guy who voiced the professor. It's like if Satan had your dad's voice. So do you really believe in the devil? Nah, it's like Santa Claus. You know. It's just your dad. Ha. Today I learned. Hello. I haven't watched the Powerpuff Girls in like 20 years, but I could still hear him's voice saying that LOL. The whole Bald Mountain scene from Fantasia freaked me out for the longest time. So I used to be terrified of this scene when I was a kid. I grew up in a deeply religious southern household and the devil was real. I just knew it. So I decided to rewatch the movie recently with my kids. My husband and I are atheists and we've raised our kids without religion. I paused the movie to explain what they were about to see and we continued on. It didn't bother them. Not at all. Not even my smallest one, whom I've only recently convinced that clowns don't come out of ceiling vents. Clowns don't come out of ceiling vents. Of course they come out of stormwater drains. It is known. Coraline's parallel mother, because she becomes a spider monster and rips people's eyes off. The whole family with those freaking button eyes scarred me for life. The other father actually creeped me out more than she did towards the end, because it was revealed that he was just this puppet. The way his body and face were distorted, that it gave me nightmares as a kid. Having read the book first, they actually made that significantly less frightening for the movie. Originally, Coraline gets thrown in a dingy basement with an Ardoian grub like other father, like it's a Silent Hill scene. I was about to comment this. I love the movie, but read the book first and I was way more creepy. That was one of the creepiest films I ever saw. Not scary, but very creepy. That fricker from the Black Cauldron. As for why, just look at him. Gurgi? Mayo. Thanks for that. Cruella Devil. When she's driving her car all crazy in the final scene and her eyes go all huge and wonky. Man, frick that it. Can't hang. Cruella is really like a cooked up woman who loves fur, and it's both scary, but extremely entertaining cause she didn't feel unreal. I'm fond of the comic floating around where all the Disney villains are lamenting that they only wanted to rule the ocean. Or only wanted to be invited to the party. And then Cruella just pops in, I only wanted a coat made out of 100 puppies. And every other villain just looks at her in abject horror. It really puts it in perspective. Most of the Disney villains were despicable in one way or another, but had reasonable goals tending towards the megalomaniacal. Cruella just straight up wanted to kill and skin 101 puppies and make a freaking coat. That's sociopathic to the extreme. Side note. Once Upon a Time is a freaking awful show, but when they debuted Cruella as a character, she rocketed to the top as the best villain on the show, and her backstory basically spelled out that she had an obsession with killing things just because she liked killing. The show as a whole might have been freaking atrocious, but damn if they didn't hit Cruella's nail right on the freaking head. This will be flooded with characters from Courage the Cowardly Dog. Interestingly, the first scary character I remember is the chicken from outer space, which was the short which spun off Courage the Cowardly Dog. Return the Slab. That it was creepy as hell. Courage never legitimately scared me, but that episode was so creepy. When I was a kid I loved Courage the Cowardly Dog, but I found most of the episodes creepy and not too scary. That mummy one is forever ingrained in my head and gave me nightmares for a week or two. Watching it again 10 years later, at first I didn't realize what was creepy about it, but I'm pretty sure it was its texture and the way it moved and was animated. What's your offer? Oogie Boogie. Fricker is made of bugs. My bugs, my bugs. Ew. Especially as he's dying. Oogie Boogie used to scare me so much as a kid. I know it was intentional, but the Lich from Adventure Time is flat out terrifying. My order of terror on Adventure Time. 1. Magic Man 2. The Lich 3. Lemongrab 4. James Baxter 5. Toronto. Absolutely correct. Magic Man might just fly by and turn you into soup. Horrifying. Ghost Freak from the original Ben 10. Dude had an upside down skull for a face, and when he possessed people they had creepy purple eyes that haunted my nightmares. It gets even more creepy when you realize that Ghost Freak was sentient and conscious of what Ben was doing the entire time. When Ben was fighting as another alien, Ghost Freak was still aware of it and watching. When Ben was playing video games he was watching as well. I'll let you imagine how creepy that end up being. That a 10-year-old had a stalker seeing everything he saw 24/7 for weeks. Bruh, that dude is both badass and scary, true form or not. Ghost Freak is one of my favorite aliens from the show and his story is pretty interesting. I also did find Topic, one of Ben's aliens, to be scary because he can instantly frighten people by showing them his face. Also big chill, he's not scary, but that phantom moth design kind of was creepy. It was kind of scary when he used his sharp teeth to chew through metal.